Shanghai boasts the largest port in the world, and it's the second stop on the Hyundai Archery World Cup. It's time to find out who will win the men's and women's team medals here on Recurve Sunday. Well, it's been pretty hot all week, but today the temperature has climbed very rapidly here. We're already at 24 degrees, and it's showing no signs of letting up. So coming up today, we start with the team matches. I'm Karen Bashir, and joining me in the commentary box is US archer Mackenzie Brown. Bright, sunny, bit of glare today.
Yeah, it's really warm outside, and I think we're going to see some really hot matches today.
So, Recurve Sunday, we shoot over water and we shoot over 70 meters. Coming up right now, it's the bronze medal match in the Recurve women's team event. Little breeze in the air. But we take a look at how the teams got here. It's the losing semi-finalists that face off for the bronze medal, and Korea, well, they dominated Iran in the top semi-final, and the People's Republic of China took out Chinese Taipei even more comfortably. So Iran versus Chinese Taipei for bronze here in Shanghai. The athletes are waiting in the wings. Let's welcome them out onto the range here in Pudong, Shanghai.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the athletes to the field. The Recurve women's team bronze medal match.女士们、先生们，女子反击弓团体铜牌决赛，欢迎运动员入场。On target number 1, representing Islamic Republic of Iran. Hyundai Archery World Cup, centimetres. And their competitors on target number 2. Representing Chinese Taipei, Lei Qianying, Heng Jiamao, Han Yating， 担任本场比赛的起射线裁判是 The line judge for this match is Sunedong Senavelanen.
Right, here we go then. It's Iran versus Chinese Taipei for the bronze in the women's team recurve here. Nilufar Alipur, Shiva Shujamir and Zara Namati going on target 1 for Iran. Tanya Ting, Li Chen Ying and Peng Qimao of Chinese Taipei on target 2. And the astute amongst you will notice that Zara Namati is in a wheelchair. She is in fact Iran's very, very best recurve archer, competing in the Rio Olympic Games, both at the Paralympic and Olympic venues. We'll just get her chair in place for the start of this match.
So the way teams work in a normal setting is they rotate up onto the line to be able to shoot. With someone who is in a wheelchair, the way that works is she would probably shoot first in the rotation. So she would shoot, and then as soon as she is done, she raises her hand, and that indicates she is done shooting, and then her teammate can cross into the shooting line and be able to shoot. And then it rotates just as normal. But yeah, it's shaping up to be a really good match.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. So Iran versus Chinese Taipei, and it's Chinese Taipei to shoot first. Shooting over 70 meters in the Olympic discipline of recurve archery. One right, one left. So if all goes to plan, this one will be straight down the middle.
Yeah, 7's not really where you want it to be. They might have had a little bit of wind, or she's just not sighted in quite yet.
So 3 arrows from Chinese Taipei. We switch over to Iran. They'll shoot their first 3 arrows.
That's a good shot. So you saw her indicate there with her hand so her teammate can come in. It's kind of interesting that she's shooting in the middle in the rotation, but
well, again, pulling over to the right, but leading by 1 at the halfway stage in the first set. So set points are what's up for grabs here. If you get the best score over the 6 arrows in a set, you get 2 points.
and then the first to 5 wins. If the teams are tied at a 4-4 tie, then they would shoot a shoot-off.
So potential for a 53 total for Chinese Taipei with a 10 here, with the first 10 of the match if we see it as well. Well, 51, so big opportunity for Iran here.
Good shot right there.
Takes the pressure off her teammates.
She didn't seem super happy with that shot just by her reaction, but still a 9 is good enough for her team right now, so I see her making an adjustment there.
It's a big opportunity here now, 6 points to level. Anything more, they've taken the set points, and there is our first spider hit there by the Iranian team, a 55 and 2 points there for Iran after the first set. An interesting start. I know it's difficult to talk about groupings in team events, but certainly the arrows are quite close together, suggesting there's a lot of good communication in both teams.
Yeah, I think Iran is really good at starting out here, and they have one that's like so close to the center of the X, but their grouping is a little bit low. I think they're going to make some adjustments, but these are awesome shots right here.
Yeah, that's a nice 10, but this one, whew, what a shot that is. That's right in the middle, isn't it?
That's definitely what you're going for.
Good start from the Iranian team. Chinese Taipei, though, have a chance to fight back in the set system.
One thing that I noticed of both teams is that they are very good at managing their time. Each archer looks really comfortable up on the line, and none of them look like they're in a rush for time, which is very important when you're in these finals matches.
So second set, Chinese Taipei trailing by 2 points. Will shoot first here. Athletes can rotate the order. They don't have to shoot in exactly the same order for the first 3 and the second 3. That's the first 10 we've seen from Chinese Taipei, and they certainly needed a good start. So 28 out of a possible 30.
باز کن ادامه بده. زود تمومش کن. ادامه بده بعد از کلیک کار کن. عالی.
Stray 7 is a little disappointing to Iran, but if they put a few more in the 10, it's definitely redeemable. I think her coach was telling her to move her side a little bit. She seemed a little jokingly about moving her side even more.
It's a good 10 there, but trailing by 2 here at the halfway stage in the second set. Very smooth, very relaxed. Again, very calm, smooth action there. Chinese Taipei have settled into their rhythm. So 55 with Iran chasing a potential total score of 56. So we need some big arrows from Iran for them to stay in touch right from the start.
That's a good way to start.
Still looking for a 10 though. Zara Namati shooting in the middle.
They need one more 10 here to gain any set points here, or even a 9 would help them split the set points.
Time ticking away. Pulls it into the 7 though, and that brings things all level. Chinese Taipei take the second set 55 to 53, and Chinese Taipei have really settled into their rhythm. They took the first set to get into it, but now they're really dialed in.
Yep, and I think, like I said in the first end, that timing is so important, and that the last archer from Iran was a little bit pushed for time.
Well, here are all the arrows from Chinese Taipei through the first 2 sets.
I think what you'll notice is you've got each archer has their own little groupings.
Yeah.
So to the left you've got an archer, to the right in the top corner you've got an archer, and then the bottom right you've got an archer. So I think they're all going to make those adjustments so that they can be right there in the 10.
And they're trying to get to that little cross in the middle, which is known as the spider, the center of the target. So 2 apiece here in the women's team bronze recurve match. And the 10 from Chinese Taipei here. That is a cracker, isn't it? Not quite as good as the one in the first set, but not bad. So here we go, set 3 here in the women's team recurve bronze medal match. It's all square between Chinese Taipei and Iran. Oh, that's a great start to the third set. Chinese Taipei really have the momentum behind them now, but we know that one stray arrow can really throw a team off.
That was a lot quicker shot. The second archer from Chinese Taipei has consistently shot a longer process on her shot, and that one was way quick, and she was rewarded for it.
Well, you suggested they were all in their groupings in different places around the target. Well, it looks like they have all adjusted well. Over to Iran. How can they respond to a perfect start to the third set from Chinese Taipei? Bit of a wobble there on the hold.
Yeah, it was a longer shot for her as well, just holding a little too long. Good shot.
نیلوفر شما هم همینطور بدن رو باز کن ادامه بده. انرژیت قطع نشه. بالانس کن برو.
Well,
they all seem to have drifted onto the left side of the target.
Yeah, and it just seems that it took a set for Chinese Taipei to get into this, and they've really found their rhythm. Well, they can put this out of reach here. 56 will give them the set points. So pressure really off the anchor archer from Chinese Taipei now. Just like that, that is now out of reach. Iran can only score 55 as a total, so it will be 4-2 to Chinese Taipei. And Mackenzie, in this situation, in some respects, not a bad one. The pressure's right off. They can just go back to process now.
Yeah, the only thing is I wouldn't underestimate any team from coming back, because right now, even though the set points are out of reach, this is a really good chance for Iran to shoot some arrows and get back in the middle like they were in that first end.
Certainly better shooting so far from Iran in the second half of this set. Pressure's all off. So 3 9s to finish off for Iran, but no match to 4 10s out of 6 arrows for Chinese Taipei, especially when the other 2 were 9s. So, you know, those 4 10s, they've really found the center. It took them a set to get into the match. They were pretty strong in the second set, but this is wonderful shooting here. 4 10s out of 6 arrows. And that is that 4th 10. High fives all round, and no wonder. They're in control here, 4-2. But Mackenzie, as you said, set points, 2 set points up for grabs, and there's no reason why the Iranians can't get back into this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think set play is kind of frustrating and rewarding at the same time. It's okay to have a bad end because you can come back with sets and win it. You know, I think this is a chance for Iran to push back and potentially, you know, take it to a shoot-off.
Well, trailing, they will shoot first in this set, and gives them an opportunity to put the pressure on Chinese Taipei. They need to shoot good arrows to do so.
Like I've said before, I think it's really important to make sure you maintain your process timing. Right now, all Iran wants to do is shoot arrows in the 10, which is great. But when you try too hard and you slow your process down, you usually don't get the 10s that you really want to shoot.
Yeah, Their 7 to start was not what they were looking for.
Really good shot from the third teammate.
So Chinese Taipei know what target they are going after. The way they've been shooting, they would expect to be at least 1, perhaps 2 points ahead at the halfway stage in this set, and a 9 is a cracking start for them.
Strong shot right there.
Well, a longer hold, and that was the result. So, in fact, after the first 3 arrows, it's Iran that are leading this set. That was a bit of a surprising one.
Yeah.
Dropping into a 6 there. Nice score so far. Iran have a reprieve.
It's not really what you want to do to capitalize on a mistake.
Yeah, leaves the door open to catch up.
She didn't look too happy with that shot. I think just got away from her a little bit, but
Pressure on now. That's pulled out into the 7, so, well, a realistic target for Chinese Taipei to go after here, but this 4th set has thrown a few curveballs for us all to watch. Happy with that one. Back a little bit more to what they're used to. 54, the potential total here. Bit of breathing space. And that will really take the pressure off the anchor athlete for Chinese Taipei. 5, in fact, enough to take this. They only need to share the set points, and it's a 9, and Chinese Taipei have taken the bronze medal here in Shanghai, 6 set points to 2. What a brilliant performance from them. A wobbly last set, though.
yeah, just a little bit of a scare, I think, and that's where you see these athletes kind of giving each other a little flack, but I think they came out with the win, and they did what they were planning on coming out here to do.
Yeah, interesting match there. The athletes from Chinese Taipei losing the first set, but then, well, confident in the second and third, and then a wobbly finish. And there is confirmation that Li Chenying, Peng Xia Mao, and Tanya Ting are the bronze medalists here in the women's team recurve in Shanghai. In combat archery, we're used to seeing lots of 10s and 9s. It's not unusual to see 8s, 7s, and even 6s. But I've got to say, the conditions here are not too bad, but the wind's picked up a little bit.
Yeah, the conditions are pretty mild here, and I would say for finals venue shooting, you can expect to see a stray 8 every now and then, but they're going to be pretty close in the center, so I think some of these are just a little errant in first match nerves, you know.
Yeah, very warm out there, very sticky, but Chinese Taipei having their moment in the sun and their photo call. Yeah, it was a good start from Iran. 55 out of a potential 60. Taking the first set and really striking well, and that lovely final arrow in that first set from Iran perhaps put down a little bit of a marker, but Chinese Taipei came back so strongly in the second set, a 53-point target to go after, and they did it really well. And then they just got better and better throughout the competition until the final set, where it all got a little wobbly. The 6 followed up by a 10, and it was enough for Chinese Taipei to take the bronze medal here. Iran might have sensed an opportunity, but Chinese Taipei got over the line, and they've got the bronze medal here at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in the women's team recurve. Beautiful city shot there. We're right in the heart of the central business district, and coming up right now, it's the gold medal match in the women's recurve team event. So it's a beautiful green park in the middle of the central business district. As we look at how the teams got to this stage, no real surprise to see Korea at the top of the rankings, coming through Iran 6-2 in the semi-finals, and they're going to go up against China, who beat Chinese Taipei 6-0. So it's time to welcome the teams out here in sunny Shanghai.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the athletes to the field. The Recurve women's team gold medal match. 女士们、先生们，团鞠躬女子团体金牌决赛，欢迎运动员入场。
Well, bows down Korea as usual, looking lean and mean and ready to go.
Representing Republic of Korea, Shanghai Jin, Choi Min-sun, Kang Tae-young, and
There's a big cheer here for the home team. They come out in this bright sunshine, a pretty packed out crowd as well.
On target number 2, representing People's Republic of China, Long Xiaoqing, Meng Fanxu, Zheng Yikai。担任本场比赛的几个练裁判是 The line judge for this match, Shahzad Al-Khayari.
So China here with the support of the crowd, smiles all round. Beautiful day for sport in a beautiful location. Meng Fanxu, Zheng Yichai and Long Xiaoqing for China going up against, well, perhaps the more familiar names of Choi Mi-sun, Chang Hye-jin and Kang Chae-young. Korea with a 2:20 through the ranking round, top of the pile. China a 1:9.44, but it's all down to this match. Head-to-head between Korea and China in Shanghai for gold. Solid start. Well, a door open here, often against the Koreans. If they're shooting first, you're looking to see whether they do drop points to give you that opportunity.
I think that China's going to try to capitalize on just a 27 in the first half of this end. I think they're going to look to put a few more in the middle right now to try to put some pressure on Korea.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for more than this golden opportunity right at the start. And a chance here to steal an early advantage here in set 1. 3 arrows per team, and then they rotate back, so 6 in total. Chance for a mini lead of 1 here with a 10. Tick, I think, for China. But the Koreans, well, they are so very good at this sport. It won't rattle them at all.
이선이 화이팅! 끝까지 봐야 돼.
Another 8 there. And this is a great chance for China to strike early here. A 58 possible with 3 10s.
7 really doesn't help right now, but a bonus is that if they shoot just a 10 and a 9, they'll split the set points.
Certainly will. Anything less. There's the 9. They need a 10 now to draw a level, so a big opportunity for them has perhaps slipped away, and now the pressure is on them to score a 10 just to stay on level terms with Korea. And with that pressure, we see another 7, and a sketchy start from Korea presented an opportunity for China, which they couldn't capitalize on. Korea taking the 2 set points to start this gold medal match off. Well, an interesting start from Korea, but there were 2 10s amongst their 6 arrows.
They found the middle in this first end, but I don't think those are going to be the last 10s. They've got really solid shooting, but I think Korea is going for more in this next end.
혜진아, 첫 발 쏴보고 약간 쏠리면 만져. 자신 있게 쏴. 괜찮아. 크게 보고 그만 쏴도 돼.
How's your Korean?
My Korean's all right, but I don't know what they're saying.
They seem happy though. I think really, given the start that they had, they'll be happy to walk away with the set points, and it'll give them some confidence now, because usually with the Koreans, if anything, they get better and better and better throughout a match.
Yeah, I think that this might just be a little bit of first match nerves, or just getting used to this finals field.
Well, there's some chat going on in the Chinese camp as well, as the targets are cleared.
Go.
Still buoyant. They still have the home crowd behind them. So trailing, China will shoot first. Second set of the gold medal match.
Hey,
Still pulling a little left, but getting closer to the center.
You know, this crowd is doing a good job of helping out their team, but I think they need to get it a little bit louder. They really need some encouragement right now to be able to pull out the 10s that they need.
That's a great shot, though. That will give them some confidence. Well, the coach talking through Kang keeping her focused.
진아 몸중심 잡아놓고 연결 그대로 끝까지 봐야 돼.
Coach doing a good job there. She managed to talk that one into the 10.
중심 잡고 오른쪽 끝까지 들어와야 돼.
Big opportunity to put the pressure on now.
끝까지 보고.
And that's a lovely shot. Those three just got better and better. 4-point mini advantage halfway through this set, and they're already 2 set points up. Pressure on China. They don't want to see anything in the blue. The 6 is simply not good enough, especially up against a game Korea.
Time 참. This 조비야.
Change there on the setting on the bow for China, but only leading by 10, and they've had 2 extra arrows. Well,
I think Korea's feeling really comfortable right now.
yeah, they only need 2.
맞아.
And you look how far this is, 70 meters. I've stood on that line, and the arrow just disappears. You can't see it, and you really can't see with the naked eye where it's hit the target.
Yeah, trained eyes, of course, can see that, but
I'm just a mere mortal, Mackenzie, unlike yourself.
but from that view, you can see that the arrow can go as high as 8 feet above the center of the target when it's flying down to 70 meters.
Yeah, it doesn't go in a straight line, it goes in an arc, a parabola if you like. And really great performance here from Korea. China will be disappointed with the second set. They just really didn't put any real pressure on Korea. Korea very, very comfortable.
생각이 많으면 안 돼. 매워. 아주 좋아한데. It's a shoot.
China did, of course, score a 10 in a third arrow, I think it was, and gave them real confidence. Here it is. That is that 10, the third arrow. But this 6, well, that put them out of it. And the 10 here really stamps the authority on for Korea. Those 3 X's, really strong performance, and they have, as predicted, just got better and better.
Yeah, I think right now the Chinese team is looking for a comeback, but I have a feeling that Korea's not going to give them any wiggle room to be able to do that.
Well, the crowd are here behind them. They are starting to get a little louder. Well, here we go. China trailing, really have to put the hammer down here. They need a good start in the third set of the gold medal match.
That's a good start. I mean, going from 6s to 9s is a good jump.
It's moving in the right direction, I think you'd say. This is better.
여기다 사이드.
Much better from China. Just dropping the 3 points. I'm not sure that's enough to put any real pressure on Korea, but 1 errant arrow, and perhaps the door will open. They are good, aren't they? Solid process again. Another 9. A chance for a 2-point lead here with a 10.
So one thing to notice here that's really important is being able to adjust quickly and make the necessary adjustments to get into the middle. For Chang Haijin on the Korean team, the first 2 arrows that she shot in the first end were 2 8s, and then the next end were 2 Xs. You know, making those adjustments is so critical here. And to be honest, it doesn't look like China's made very many adjustments or just aren't on their game today.
Well, they got into this gold medal match, which they'll be obviously delighted about, but the pressure's just really told, I think. And this one could be over, well, very soon indeed, in well inside regulation time. Strong arrow, perhaps to finish, and they do get a 10. A 53 the target for Korea, with a potential 58, their maximum. That takes the pressure off the other 2 athletes. Well, they're going to need more than a mistake for an 8 there to lose this one. A 7 to win. That will draw them level and share the set points. Fancy their strong finish here. And it's a 9, and there we have it. A dominant performance from Korea. I think China may well be disappointed with their performance in the final, but I'm sure when they look back on this, they've picked up a silver medal in Shanghai with the home crowd cheering them on. They just weren't good enough for Korea, who take the gold. A feel for the Chinese team. Korea did what we expected of them, started relatively well, just got better. But China, they started okay and then faded.
Yeah, you have to remember too, an indication from the judge there that Korea is the winner, but you have to remember too, in that first end, China had a huge opportunity to be able to get some set points up on the Koreans, and they just didn't capitalize on a mistake.
And a disappointing second set of 48 out of a potential 60, just not good enough against the world's top team. And Korea there, they take their moment in the limelight here in Shanghai. It's another gold medal for Korea on Recurve Sunday. Well, Korea were just very, very good right from the start, scoring 54 points in the first set. Perhaps they'd be a little disappointed with that. 57 and a 55 in the second and third. China really tried hard to fight back, but dropping a 6 in the second set to only score 48 points. And then, as we predicted, Korea just got better and better, hitting the center of the target over and over again, and just a 9 was enough to finish things off. Korea take gold in the women's team recurve, and the fist bumps all around, as we've come to expect on the range. Well, Mackenzie, we can see that it's been, well, we said it's been very bright here and it's very warm, but the wind has picked up a little bit from the rest of the week.
Yeah, it's a little gusty out there, but I still don't think there's a lot to be able to move arrows. 70 meters is a lot of distance for an arrow to travel, especially with recurve shooters, so there is more movement than, say, in a compound competition. But I still don't think there's enough wind to cause big change.
Well, we look down the range here, Unique shooting over water. The women's medals, or the women's competition is now done. So coming up next is the men's team finals. The bronze and the gold here in Pudong, right in the middle of these skyscrapers in Pudong in Shanghai. Big crowd here. The Korean fans, the teammates there, will be shouting very loudly very shortly. because they got another gold medal. Beautiful green park here, quite close to the Bund. And here is confirmation of the women's recurve team rankings. Korea top of the pile, as usual, from China, who will be happy when they look back on this, picking up the silver medal in Shanghai. And Chinese Taipei taking the bronze, beating Iran in the bronze medal match. Well, the weather has just got better and better here. And waiting in the wings, it's time for the medal ceremonies in the women's team recurve.
女士们、先生们，反曲弓女子团体颁奖仪式。Ladies and gentlemen, victory ceremony for the Recurve women team. Medals will be presented by Shanghai West Mayor. 颁发奖牌的是上海市副市长陈群。Trophies will be presented by Puzheng New Area Mayor. 颁发奖杯的是上海市人民政府副秘书长、浦东新区区长唐营伟。获得铜牌的是来自中华台北的选手 ，Bronze medal representing Chinese Taipei。
祝贺你们表现得非常棒。
谢谢。
哎，
赖前颖、彭家茂、
祝贺。
谢谢。
韩雅婷。
祝贺你。
谢谢。
哎，好。
获得银牌的是来自中国的选手 ，Silver medal representing People's Republic of China。
继续加油啊！
A big shout out for the Chinese contingent. They picked up the silver medal here. Meng Hangzhu, Zheng Yichai, and Long Xiaoqing. They knew what they were up against, and I think maybe that played on their minds in the gold medal match. They are the silver medalists. Chinese Taipei, of course, picking up the bronze. Tanya Ting Li.
获得金牌的是来自韩国的选手。
But it's all about these three,
of Korea.
as they weren't at their absolute best. But it was enough here to take gold in Shanghai. Choi Mu-sun, Chang Hye-jin, who got better through the gold medal match, and Kang Chae-young. Korea taking gold here in the women's team recurve.
Chang Hae-jin. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand for the national anthem of the Republic of Korea.
So not for the first time, and certainly not for the last time. It's time for the Korean national anthem.
女士们、先生们，向我们的运动员献上最热情的掌声。Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our athletes.
Well, there we go. Gold medal there for Korea. The People's Republic of China pick up a silver here in Shanghai, and Chinese Taipei take the bronze medal. Every athlete has their process. Some have unusual quotes, but there are two main approaches to aiming a recurve bow.
We cut out with rain attack.
So there are two main ways that you can aim with a recurve bow. You can aim actively by trying to really put the dot where you're trying to aim, or you can aim a bit more passively where you're looking at where you're trying to aim and letting it all fall into place. So normally, if you're aiming actively, the dot will be in focus and the target will be a little bit blurry, whereas a passive aiming process will have the target in focus with the dot a little bit blurry. So when you're aiming actively, you're really trying to hold that dot nice and steady on the target, just by reducing as much movement as possible, whereas aiming passively, you're looking at where you're trying to aim, you're not controlling it super tightly, and you're letting it flow and fall into position at the right moment. When you aim actively, you may feel like you have more control over where the arrow is going, and by doing so you can try and hold steadier and be more precise with your shot. For people that aim passively, they'll find that they're more relaxed because they don't have the tension in their body of trying to hold that as steady as they can. Historically, you'll find that passive aiming is more of a recurve thing, and real active aiming has got more to do with compound shooting. So a lot of archers might shoot with a dot or a circle or a crosshair, and that comes down to personal preference, and there's different pros and cons to each. With a dot, you might find you can be a bit more precise with your aiming point, whereas with a circle, it's easier to look through and passively aim. And archers that use a crosshair might like that for a reference point for their canting. So I would recommend for beginners to learn to aim passively, so that way they can focus more on their technique and making sure they've got that under control. And as they develop as an archer, they can make the decision to shoot passively or actively in their aiming.
Even more, and it's a lot of force. They're trying to move fast. It's not just about holding steady, it's about executing good form, good, strong, dynamic shots.
So when I'm shooting, I'll look at the flags or other indicators I can see on the field, maybe where the other person's arrow has gone, and then I'll decide where I'm aiming. And when I do that, I raise the bow to the aiming point and come down on it, and maintain my focus on that aiming point and let the dot fall into place. Very rarely would I move my aiming point during the shot, but on special occasions you might find the wind's done a full 180, or maybe your teammate in a team round has said a different aiming point, and you take that on board and just make your best decision. It would be highly recommended that you're looking at your aiming point right before you raise your bow. Everything will start to line up as you get to full draw, and so that's when your sight's coming into picture, and really, whether you're an active aimer or a passive aimer, you're already looking at that point and bringing it into your spot.
And a first 10 there for Tyak.
It doesn't really matter how long you're aiming on that point, so if you're there for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, or even a millisecond, if everything's lined up at the moment that your clicker goes off, it's going to be fine.
Well, interesting stuff there from Australian international archer Ryan Tyak. We've had the women's tournament. Now it's time for the men's recurve team event. Shooting over 70 metres over the water here in Shanghai. It's time for the bronze medal match. We've seen some interesting lineups here in Shanghai throughout our finals sessions, and what is unusual here is that Korea are in the bronze medal match. They lost to Chinese Taipei in the top semi-final, and it's Bangladesh who will be their opponents. They made it through to the semi-finals, beating India 5-1 in the quarters, and then they lost to Turkey 5-3. So Korea versus Bangladesh. They seem to be ready to come out onto the field of play here. We look across the water here. Seen a couple of koi carp in that beautiful pond. And just on the edge there, I think we can see a little turtle.
Yeah, I like looking at the turtles.
It's a really unique location for any kind of sporting event. It's wonderful to see the arrows flying across the water into the target. And right in the centre of this park in the central business district of Shanghai. We're not too far away from the Yangtze River and of course Shanghai on the delta. The sun is shining, the umbrellas are up, and looks like the crowd are ready. They know that they're on camera, but they can see the athletes waiting to come out. Time for bronze in the men's team recurve.
女士们、先生们，反举弓男子团体铜牌决赛，欢迎运动员入场。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field. The Recurve men's bronze medal match.
Well, out on to target 1, it's Korea. I think they will be disappointed to be having lost to Chinese Taipei, but they'll be confident of taking on their opponents. It's Kim Woo-jin, Lee Woo-seok, and Lee Sung-young. 2047 in the ranking round, a combined score. World #1 team and the #1 ranked team here in Shanghai. Here, Bangladesh.
Representing Bangladesh.
Tamimul Mohammed, Ruman Shana, and Mohammed Rubel. Ranked 14th at 1963 through the ranking round. And they'll be pleased to be here, and they'll be pleased that they gave Turkey a bit of a challenge in the semi-finals, only losing out 5-3. No pressure on them. The Koreans on target 1 look like they'll be shooting first.
You know, something to think about 2 years ago, I believe, the Korean men were against Kazakhstan in the gold medal match, and it was quite an upset, so it'd be very interesting to see on the same stage there's an upset today.
Target number 1, Team Korea, shooting first.
There we go, shooting for bronze here in Shanghai. Korea on target 1 will go first, and it's all about the start here. Kim Woo-jin will start this bronze medal match.
With our favorite Korean coach behind them.
Full of character. Just all pulling left a little bit there. 27 out of a possible 30. That won't put too much fear in Bangladesh, but they need to start well as well.
Nice, okay. Good 9. It's okay.
Shana leading the way with a 9.
Good way to put some pressure on Korea right now.
Yeah, and quite dialed into the centre. Good communication between the athletes in the Bangladesh team. 1 low, 1 high, and then 1 right in the middle. How can Kim Woo-jin respond for Korea?
우승이 화이팅!
몇 점 땄지? 9.5?
2 nines leave the door open for Bangladesh. Coach offering some advice, but that one drifting into the 9 as well. So, a big chance here for Bangladesh.
Honestly, just staying in the gold right now is the key for Bangladesh to be able to take this first set.
Confidence.
That's a little better than gold.
That is a cracker. This is turning into a match. Bangladesh are putting the pressure on. Great start from the team from Bangladesh. They needed to make sure they didn't let Korea run away at the beginning.
It's almost as if Bangladesh is kind of sending a message to Koreans saying, hey, we're here to play too.
Well, 4 nines in that set of 6, but it was the 2 10s that will make the Koreans wake up here. And that one, it was an absolute cracker, millimetres away from the very centre of the target at 70 metres. A cracking start from the Bangladeshi team. Well, they had a little high five, and now they're settling themselves down.
That's definitely key in these finals. It's good to get a head start, it's good to be confident, but you have to maintain your process. You have to stay focused on talking to each other, shooting strong shots, and really executing well.
Well, Korea, unusually for them, trailing, will shoot first in the second set. They trail by 2, so they need a good start to lay down a marker for Bangladesh. Perhaps a little adjustment there from Kim Woo-jin. Arrows in the first one just going left, that one going right. Woo-shik finding the centre of the target, handing over to his teammate Lee Seung-young. So 28 out of a maximum 30. Scoring just 1 more than their first 3 in the first set. Tickling the line perhaps, marked as an 8. After a cracking start.
No move the side. Keep long timing, yeah?
That's better though. 25 out of a possible 30. Mini advantage there for Korea at the halfway stage of this second set, but an 8 and a 7. Perhaps not good enough against this Korean team.
I think it's kind of dangerous when Kim Woo-jin finds the center of the target.
They're leading out the line for this Korean trio as well. Instills confidence in his teammates. Woo-shik also landing a 10, so they've only dropped 2 points so far in this second set. More like the Korea we're used to seeing. Ooh, that's marked as a 9, but that could go to a measure as well. Either way, this one's out of reach for Bangladesh, and Korea will be level on set points halfway through this medal match here in Shanghai.
Both arrows little up the last, yeah? 9.7 is good. 9.8. Only the jaw. Yeah, okay. It's okay.
2 9s. They're finding the center here, out of reach, so a bit of practice for the next set.
Yeah, these would be practice arrows so that they can know that they can start out strong, because actually they'll be shooting second. I was going to say they were going to shoot first, but they will still be shooting second because it'll go to the original order.
Yeah, so the Koreans there finding their form, taking the set 57 to 51, dropping just the 3 points and drawing level on set points. And they really were much better in that second set. 3 10s, 3 9s. Kim Woo-jin landing that 10 again. And Lee Woo-seok also 3 of the 6 arrows going into the center of the target.
너무 긴장이 안 되는 것 같아. 너무 긴장이 안 되는 것 같아. 좀 끌어올리시다.
A little bit of more relaxed in the camp.
Yeah, just a little bit of joking.
Yeah, he's vocal, we can
Yeah.
say, the Korean coach. But when they're in that break, when they're in between sets, he is a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more calm. So it's a real drastic change in his volume.
I think the thing to remember too is that each individual archer is their own worst critic. So you're already hard on yourself. You kind of need your coach to help you get out of that like self-critical state and get you back to where you can shoot.
Well,
10s.
Korea back in this match, 2 set points each at the halfway stage. They'll shoot first this for the bronze medal in Shanghai. Well, pressure put on again by the Koreans, 29 out of 30, but Bangladesh responding.
Yep.
On the line, marked up to a 10.
Nice, nice, very nice.
Looking very smooth. Creeping into the 9, so a fight back from Bangladesh here. But the Koreans dropping 1 point. The telltale glasses moved for Kim Woo-jin.
I think that's what's needed for those 10s. I think if he doesn't move his glasses, it's not a 10.
Trademark part of his process. The mark is a 9. That's pretty close, but they need a maximum of 30 here to take the set points. 29, and they'll share them.
Two tens will get them to split these set points. You know, one thing, Kareem, is that Bangladesh is looking like they've been here before. I think this is one of their first actual finals fields, but they're treating it like they've been here before.
Yeah, well, with the coach Martin Fredericks in the camp, he's used to that. He helped Chilean archer Denise van Laumann win the World Championship some time ago, and the German coach really helping out the Bangladeshis. And that was back in 2011.
Oh. An open door for Bangladesh, and I think that's maybe not what they had hoped for.
A big opportunity, as you say, but I think sometimes the experience of being on in the podium situation can be a real problem on the mind. Korea there shooting their Thames. Lee Woo-suk hitting the 10, and Lee Sung-young also hitting 10s. But Kim Woo-jin also in the middle. And there was an opportunity for Bangladesh. Martin Fredericks fist bumping all around. If we have a look at that last set from them, the opportunity was there. But the 7 at the end just skipped away from them, and well, Korea finding the middle time and time again in the second set. Bangladesh just that 1-7 enough to give the set points to Korea. Can Bangladesh fight back though? Or will the Koreans give their coach Park Chae-soon a late birthday present? It was his birthday yesterday apparently.
I'd like to see a shoot-off. Shoot-offs are always fun, so I'd like to see one.
Well, Bangladesh trailing will need to put the pressure on Korea with some high scoring here at the beginning of the 4th set to force that position for them.
It's been grouping a little high. I'd be giving my side a couple of clicks right there, but maybe it's just a shot feel for him that he knows where it's going to go.
Okay. Little wind right side. Aiming middle.
Here the athletes talking to each other. Little wind on the right side, I think he said.
Yeah.
27 out of 30, not bad.
Move a little down and keep long, huh? Okay.
It's a good way to answer.
Kim Woo-jin right down the middle, and often when he's the one that scores with a 10, at least one of his teammates follows, if not both. '29 gives them a 2-point mini advantage halfway through this set. Remember, they only need to match Bangladesh's total score to take the bronze medal here in Shanghai. Solid scoring, but 9's just not enough against the Koreans.
That's where they need to be to put any kind of pressure on this Korean team.
Another 10 really is what Bangladesh need here.
9, 8, 7.
Just dropping into the 9, so 55 out of a potential 60. Korea have a potential target of 59, so a 4-point space for breathing here. They can drop 4 and still take this bronze medal. Kim Woo-jin beginning with another 10. Lee Woo-suk can really take the pressure off his anchorman Lee Seung-yun. Another 10 from Lee Woo-suk, and a 6 is all that's required to draw level on points in this set with Bangladesh and take the bronze medal here in Shanghai. A 10 to finish, and it's a late happy birthday present for Park Jae-sun, the Korean coach, as he watches his trio take the bronze here in Shanghai. Well, Korea starting with an unusually low 54 in the first set, but then really back on form, 57, 57, 59, just dropping the single point in the last set as we get confirmation that they win the bronze medal here in Shanghai. Kim, Lee and Lee will be on the podium a little bit later on, and I think they'll be glad to get out of the sun here. The temperature has just continued to climb this morning as the happy fans in the crowd from Korea will look forward to seeing them on the podium. Well, Bangladesh will be pleased that they had a chance to shoot here in this unique location. And what a lovely gesture there from Korea, giving the Bangladeshis an opportunity to have their photos taken on the shooting platform here in Pudong, Shanghai. We don't see them that often, so a good opportunity for them. So gents with their bronze medal, giving their opponents an opportunity to shine. As we look back on the match, Bangladesh started so well, picking off a couple of 10s in the first set, but then only 3 more throughout the match, as the Koreans, well, started with a 54 and then just dialed into the center and kept finding 10 after 10 after 10. Kim Woo-jin leading the line with the first and fourth arrows in each set, setting the benchmark for his teammates, who stepped up to the mark and followed throughout that bronze medal match. Recovering from the disappointment of losing in the semi-finals, Korea bounced back to take bronze here in Shanghai. So coming up next, it's the gold medal match in the men's recurve team event, shooting over the 70-meter range in Pudong, Shanghai. The teams are waiting in the wings, and let's take a look at how the teams got here. Well, Korea at the top of the pile were favourites, but Chinese Taipei had other ideas in the top semi-final, beating them 5-1. And Turkey came through the bottom of the order, taking out the USA and then Bangladesh. And that means that we will see a gold medal match here in Shanghai between Chinese Taipei and Turkey. There are the athletes. Let's welcome them out onto the field of play.
女士们、先生们，团体弓男子团体金牌决赛，欢迎运动员入场。Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes to the field. The Recurve men's team gold medal match. 1号码 on target number 1, representing Chinese Taipei, 邓宇成、汤志军、魏君恒。
Well, lots of support in the crowd there for Chinese Taipei. Chi-Chun, Wei Chun-Heng and Yu Cheng. And this is going to be a tight one for sure. Turkey come out, Mete Gazos, Samet Ak and Fatih Bozla.
Representing Turkey, Samet Ak, Fatih Bozla, Mete Gazos.
Pretty close to the ranking round. Chinese Taipei shooting a 1996, Turkey a 1975 as the Turkish athletes look on to support their teammates here.
Chinese Taipei on target number 1 came to the 4th place in the qualification round with 1,996.
It's a beautiful location here, and you've got to say, probably a little bit more comfortable for the crowds with their lemonades and frappuccinos in the sun than the athletes standing on that really super hot shooting platform.
Yeah, it's we've got some hot weather out there, but I'm looking forward to a pretty spicy match here.
Well, we're going to see Chinese Taipei starting here. It's time for gold here in Shanghai. What a start as well. Chinese Taipei shooting a 10 to get us off the mark. Beautifully smooth process. Another 10. Yeah. 29 out of 30, a good start from Chinese Taipei. A little more lent over there, and a mini advantage already with Chinese Taipei here. Turkey can only get 28 at the halfway stage of the first set. Fatih Bozla puts it into the 8, so it's a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, Mete Gazos, they're getting a little excited going into all 6 arrows, but we do alternate in finals matches. So we're going back to Chinese Taipei, starting it off with a really strong 10 there.
Small margins throughout this competition, and here Chinese Taipei shooting so well. Nothing outside the 9-10 ring. Well, they can put this out of reach with a 9. They shoot a 10. They've taken the first set points here. Turkey need to use these 3 arrows to just go through their process, settle their nerves, and get ready for the second set, because they're going to be trailing by 2 set points to 0 at the end of the first set.
I almost feel like it's a little bit of an advantage to have a chance to shoot these arrows that don't really mean anything when it comes to getting set points, because that first end is always the one you get all the nerves out. You get all of the bad arrows out, and then hopefully you can shoot 10s afterwards. And these arrows don't really have a lot of bearing on whether you win the match or not, but it could help you come back really easy.
Yeah, well, the thing here is that Chinese Taipei, whilst Turkey had the advantage of 3 relaxed arrows, Chinese Taipei shooting so well at the start. Well, they shot 4 10s out of their 6 arrows. The other 2 were 9s, so a 58 in total. Here are the 10s from Chinese Taipei. First 2 arrows really solid and grouped well together. And that grouping of arrows at the top there, the 4 in the 10, absolutely beautifully close together, suggesting that they are talking to each other, Mackenzie. Those 4 10s all pretty close together.
Yeah, maybe they had just a little bit of conversation before coming out. There were a couple low arrows there, but I think just making quick adjustments to be able to get back into the 10 ring is really crucial in this final.
Well, a bit of a rallying cry there from Chinese Taipei. If anything, it's going to be the Turkish coach Göktürk Ergin who's going to need a rallying cry for the Turkish team. He saw Mete Gajos compete at Rio 2016 and he's so keen to get a team qualified for Tokyo 2020. They get us off the mark here for the second set.
Hala aşağıda, biraz aşağıya. Sağa bakacağız Samet. Sağda 9, 8 çizgisi. Dinamik bitsin. 10 oğlum, bravo. Girmeyeceksin sonra.
Good first 2 arrows from Turkey.
Cesur ol.
That's really where they needed to capitalize to be able to push Chinese Taipei a little bit, but we'll see how they answer.
First mini error from Chinese Taipei. Lowest arrow so far from them. I wonder if the wind has just picked up a little bit. Certainly some communication there. And you can see the wind is blustering a little bit. It's blowing towards the athletes and then cutting across the field of play.
Yeah, I think this morning, earlier on, the wind was going from right to left, and now it's left to right. But still matching the Turkish team, so I think they're, handling it a little better.
Yeah, and looking at the scoring for Turkey, they're looking for their third man, Fatih Bozla, just to up his game a little bit, but a dropped point there from the Turks for the 4th arrow. Another one in the 8. Bozla back up onto the shooting line.
Güzel. Bravo. Hadi Emci. Güven kendine oğlum. Havayı.
Gonna need a big score here.
Dinamik bitsin.
Plenty of time.
9 sağda, güzel.
Gazos puts it into the 9, shooting first and last for Turkey. 54 is another opportunity for Chinese Taipei to take advantage of.
It seems like Chinese Taipei is really comfortable with the amount of time they have to be able to shoot these arrows. You see them walking on and off the line a little slower, but honestly they have so much time to be able to execute these shots. And I think being comfortable is so important in this final matches. A 9 here will tie the set. So it will be 3-1.
Well, they share the set points. I think Turkey may be a little relieved with that outcome.
I think they'll be looking to capitalize and potentially take back and even this game up. I think they're a little bit more comfortable now. They had a couple of errant arrows, and you'll see here that they've got those 10s that definitely helped out in that end.
Yeah, Fatih Bozla there, just upping his game, as you said, might be required. Turkey sharing the points, but they need the momentum to continue to swing towards them.
Evet. Beyler bizi geçmelerine izin vermiyoruz. Hadi. Hadi beyler.
Got to Ergin, the Turkish coach there, really urging his team on.
Bağırarak kazanılmadığını biliyoruz beyler. Haydi.
Third set. Number 2, Team Turkey, shooting first.
Still trailing. Turkey are on the scoreboard. They will shoot first here in the third set.
Aferin, iyi atıştı. Bravo. Aferin. Kafayı basmıyorsun, ki sana geliyor. Dinamik bitsin sadece. Aferin, güzel 10.
I think that's a 10. It's close there on the line, but really good shooting from this Turkish team.
Baş parmak bastın Fatih. Güzel güzel atış, aferin.
Ergin and Gazos there getting a little bit more vocal in this third set.
I think that may have been just a little too much adjusting for that windsock.
Chinese Taipei find the middle again, and this is only pressure on Turkey, really. A bit of a spread there, but 28 up against, well, currently a 26. We think they may well get marked up, but still advantage Chinese Taipei either way.
Aferin, güzel, bravo. Fatih düz çalışıyorsun, baş parmak karşıya bassın.
Turkey really needs a couple of 10s here to put any kind of pressure on Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, they really do.
Aferin, aferin.
Trying to find the middle. Can Gazos finish the third set for Turkey with a 10 that will just put some pressure on Chinese Taipei? Oh, it's close, but it's not quite in the 10 ring. 53 out of a possible 60 for Turkey in the third set, and there's a big opportunity here for Chinese Taipei. A maximum will put them on 58. That's already gone down to 57, but that's more than enough to take gold here in Shanghai in the men's recurve team event. Another 9 by the looks of things, and a 9 will take this very comfortably. Quick release. Oh, it's on the line. Looks like it's a 10, and Chinese Taipei have taken gold from Turkey. It was a little bit of a lackluster performance from Turkey. They dropped points in every set. Chinese Taipei, though, looking very strong from the off, have taken gold here in Shanghai. There is going to be a measure here, but Chinese Taipei, irrespective of whether that arrow gets marked up for Turkey, are clear winners in the gold medal match here in Shanghai. Mackenzie, they started so well, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Chinese Taipei came out here to win this match fair and square, and I think they may have felt a little bit of nerves in that second end, but really capitalized on that last end and shot really strong.
Yeah, and Fatih Bosler perhaps will be a bit disappointed with the first arrows he had in each of the sets for Turkey. But there it is, Chinese Taipei confirmed as the winners of the men's recurve team event here in Shanghai. They will be standing on top of the podium a little bit later on in this session.
But Turkey will be taking home a silver medal today, which is really good for their team. I think they're really trying to make a push right before Tokyo next year.
Yeah, they'll need to perform a little bit better than that overall if they're going to give themselves a chance of medals in that Olympic Games. But like you say, Mackenzie, good build up. But Chinese Taipei were just very, very good from the start as we take a look back on that match. The start was superb. 4-10s in the first set. Well, there you see them. And they just kept up the pace. But Turkey, they didn't start too badly. They started with a 10, but Fatih Bosler and Samet Ak just dropping points in the first set. If anything, Chinese Taipei just dropped their game a little bit, but it was more than enough to share the points in the second set as both teams scored 54 out of 60. But a 56 plays 54 in the final set was enough to see Chinese Taipei fist bump their way to gold with a 5-1 victory. Well, the crowd there have been treated to some interesting matches here. Chinese Taipei taking the final gold. Here is confirmation of the rankings for the men's recurve team event. Chinese Taipei top of the pile from Turkey and Korea. Bangladesh got their moment in the Shanghai, finishing fourth. So it's been a great session here. The wind may have played its part here. It'll be interesting to talk to some of the athletes. But now it's time to present the medals in the team event on Recurve Sunday here in Shanghai.
Ladies and gentlemen, victory ceremony, Recurve men team. Medals will be presented by Shanghai People's Government Deputy Secretary General. 颁发奖牌的是上海市人民政府副秘书长顾金山。Trophies will be presented by Shanghai Sports Administration Director General. 颁发奖杯的是上海市体育局长徐斌。 获得铜牌的是来自韩国的选手 ，Bronze medal representing Republic of Korea.
Well, they may well have been disappointed with their performance in the semi-finals, but Korea are professionals and they bounced back really well to take the bronze over Bangladesh. Kim Woo-jin, Lee Seung-yun, and Lee Woo-suk. Used to gold, but they've taken the bronze medal here in Shanghai.
Silver medal representing Turkey.
Turkey, well, they've got something to think about, something to work on, but they've picked up the silver medal here. Samet Ak, Fatih Bosler in the middle, and Mete Gazosh. Just weren't quite good enough in the gold medal match, but certainly a medal here in Shanghai is good preparation for the rest of the season.
获得金牌的是来自中华台北的选手 Gold medal representing Chinese Taipei.
They were just brilliant in the final. A cracking first set set the tone, and Chinese Taipei didn't look back. Tang Chi-chun, Wei Chung-heng and Dang Yung-cheng are the gold medalists in the men's recurve here at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Shanghai, China.
真好，祝贺你们，祝贺你们。
Ladies and gentlemen, we stand for the anthem of Chinese Taipei Olympic Committee. 女士们、先生们，请起立。现在播放中华台北奥委会会歌。女士们、先生们，向我们的运动员献上最热情的掌声。Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our athletes.
Well, there we go. Chinese Taipei started so well in the gold medal match and take the final medal here in this session from Turkey and Korea. And as you can see, it was Korea who took the gold in the women's recurve team event, Chinese Taipei taking gold in the men's event. So how does that leave us in the rankings? First up, we have a look at the women's. After two stages, it's Korea top of the pile from China and Chinese Taipei. And the men, well, looks a little bit like this. Chinese Taipei at the top from Turkey and Korea, with Bangladesh in fourth. So that's it from this session, but coming up later on today at 1:30, it's the recurve mixed team, always good fun, and then the all-important individual finals. So thank you for joining us here from session 1 on Recurve Sunday. We'll be back at 1:30 for the next session on Recurve Sunday. Don't go far, we'll be back for that.